The loss to the Dallas Cowboys was a heartbreaker. A game I truly believed the Patriots could win. Yeah, but I think this is a game New England wins. You know, maybe they get a turnover, but I think they pull off the upset. After that loss, the Patriots are now 2-4. In this game versus the Dallas Cowboys, Bill Belichick let down his players. Versus the Dallas Cowboys, Bill Belichick broke me.
They stole it from me, Carmine. They took it. That was today. Today.
What happened to this guy? The 4th and 2 guy. The guy who wouldn't punt because Peyton Manning was on the other sideline. I'm not claiming I know anywhere near what Bill Belichick knows, but why can't I be critical of an all-time great if their current product is not producing? If Steven Spielberg made 5 bad movies in a row, wouldn't he get criticized? I'm not claiming the game of football has passed Bill Belichick by. The fact that the Patriots have been competitive with 2 of the 5 best teams in football, Tampa Bay and Dallas, means 2 things. Bill Belichick can still put together a game plan, and 2, the team has some level of talent. This is not a talentless roster. What I am saying by making this video is simply asking, pleading, Bill, please be more aggressive. Also, bring back the cutoff hoodies. Like, what the f is this? Bill Belichick has been both a blessing and a curse to the Patriots this season. His ultimate strength and weakness have been counteracting each other. The football is great, but the game management is downright despicable. Through 6 games, the Patriots have hit rock bottom in terms of conservatism. The Patriots are the most conservative team in the NFL when the math says to go for it. This conservative nature has let down the Patriots in multiple games this year. Let's flash back to week 4, shall we? In week 4, the Patriots lost to Tampa 19-17. They refused to go for it versus a banged up defense with limited talent in the secondary on 4th and 3 at Tampa Bay's 37. Instead, what does Bill Belichick decide to do? He kicks a 56-yard field goal with Nick Folk in the rain, who, by the way, is hurt at the moment, with 1 minute left in the game. If the field goal is good, remember, the score is 19-17. You lead by just 1 point, 20-19. So, you are putting the ball back in Tom Brady's hands. All he needs to do is drive down the field and get a field goal. Meaning, you likely lose the game anyways if you make this field goal. You determined that the Patriots had a better chance to win by kicking that very difficult field goal and stopping Tom Brady rather than converting a 4th and 3, killing the clock, and kicking a game-winning field goal. Using the basic logic, if the opposing team's fans want you to go for it, you kick it. If the opposing team's fans want you to kick it, you go for it. If the opposing team has Tom Brady, they don't want you to go for it. Trust me, I've been a long-time fan of Tom Brady. Now, let's fast forward to Sunday, week 6 versus the Dallas Cowboys, and lean into the Cowboys game as an example of what ails the Patriots. This Cowboys game was extremely unique because there were not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 4th down distinct decisions in this game. On every single one, the Patriots decided to punt. Not only that, but there was also a highly questionable decision to take a knee at the end of the first half. According to Sharp Football Stats, New England ranks 10th in pass success rate on 3rd and 4 and less at 59%. Dallas, as a defense, on 3rd and 4th down and 4 or less, have allowed 50% success rate. Going back to the math, it suggests New England as an individual team would most likely succeed in these scenarios. We should treat these analytics as just a tool, not a rule, because context ultimately matters in sports. But even with context, this doesn't add up. What's the context? The Cowboys' offense is first in yards and second in points this season. You don't have to go too far into the weeds to understand that the Cowboys have a great offense.
They're a good offense. One of the top 2 offenses in the league.
They have an MVP level quarterback in Dak Prescott, an elite running back duo in Zeke and Pollard, an elite wide receiver duo in CD and Cooper. Their defense, on the other hand, is a lot more susceptible. Their defense ranks 31st in pass yards, 28th in net yards per attempt, so they're not a great defense. They're a great offense. So how do you beat them? Well, why don't you lean into beating their defense? Leaning into beating their defense is keeping your offense on the field and going for it. Let's get to the specific situations. Situation 1, 4:34 left in the first half. A 4th and 1 at New England's own 35. So what happens on this 4th and 1? The Patriots have been trying to pull off this trick play for a very long time where they look like they're going to go for it, but then they send their kick team on the field quickly to punt the ball away. So the Patriots do get a bit unlucky with a blocked punt. But what are you doing? When's the last time this trick actually worked for you in a favorable manner? And number 2, why didn't you go for it here? It's 4th and 1. Anytime it's 4th and 1, I think an offense should stay on the field, especially when they are the underdog and playing the Dallas Cowboys, a top 2 offense in the NFL.
They're a good offense. One of the top 2 offenses in the league.
Looking back at it, knowing what we know now and understanding Bill Belichick's mindset, he should have gone for this 4th and 1.
Coach, what went into the decision before the half to kneel the clock out there?
So we're getting the ball to start the second half.
And why I say that is because with 1:30 left in the half, when you got the ball back from Dallas after punting it here, you didn't go for points. You refused to go for points. You took a knee and you went into halftime with 1:30 left on the clock in the first half. So if you're not going to go for points then, you might as well try to extend this drive to put up more points before halftime when you get the ball after half. If you're not confident with 1:30 left with Mac Jones in this offense, you might as well stay in a 4-minute drive, a 4-minute scenario, and try to extend this drive on 4th and 1, where you're most likely going to make and going to convert a 4th and 1 in the NFL in 2021. Situation 2. I was referring to it. The 2-minute drill before halftime. 1st and 10 at New England's 20. 1:30 left in the first half. The Patriots decide to take a knee and run the clock out. This makes no sense. Absolutely 0 sense, and is playing way too conservatively. His quarterback in the first half, Mac Jones, was 7 for 7 with 100 yards and a touchdown. This ultimately became, in the second half, 10 for 10. How do you not continue to attack a defense that you, at this point, are demolishing? How do you not attempt to get at least a field goal with 1:30 left in this first half versus one of the best offenses in the NFL, knowing that you are the underdog and knowing that you could very well win the game in the middle 8 with 2 scores, 1 before the half and 1 to start the second half? Situation 3. After 3 punts in a row to start the second half, the game is still where you left it when you took a knee in the first half. You still lead 14-10. You now have an opportunity to redeem yourself for making dumb decisions on 4th and 1 and at the end of the half. You can now take a 2-possession lead. It is now 9:18 left in the third. It is a 4th and 2 at the 50-yard line. 50-yard line. This isn't at your 35. This isn't at your 45. The 50-yard line. And you do not go for it. This was probably the worst call of the game, and this, in my opinion, is the call that cost the Patriots the game. If you don't get this 4th and 2, and let's say the Cowboys score a touchdown. You are only down by 3 points. And by the way, after you punted the ball because of field position, they went down the field and scored a touchdown anyways. So you ended up being wrong there. You can only give a great offense so many chances. Eventually, they will score. They punted the ball at the beginning of the second half. You stop them. Congratulations. You can't expect to continue to stop them. You score again. You make this game 2 possessions and you win. Period. Situation 4. Down 3 because they scored. With 2:09 left in the third quarter, the Patriots have a 4th and 4 at their own 46, and Bill Belichick punts. This is why this is incorrect. If you get scored on again, let's say you give up a touchdown, you are now down 2 scores and you have lost the game. It is over. So pretty much, if you punt here and concede to the Dallas offense, you lose the game. You lose. You were lucky that Dallas only scored a field goal on that drive after you punted on 4th and 4 at your own 46. Because if they score a touchdown, again, the game is likely over. Instead of a 6-point deficit, you would have been down 10 if they score a touchdown. In other words, 2 possessions. That to me is just as risky. It's just as risky as going for it. I get that 4th and 4 is a bit different than 4th and 2, 4th and 1, or even 4th and 3. It's a little bit tougher to make, but you're losing the game. You have to figure if we punt the ball, they could very well score a touchdown and we're out of this thing. So we might as well go for it here. Situation 5. The final situation that ultimately defined this game and was the storyline and the talking point coming out of it. 4th and 3 at your own 46. Again, at your own 46-yard line. This is overtime. This is score a touchdown, you win, punt, and the other team only needs to get a field goal. Here's what clearly frustrates me about this decision to punt. Mac Jones was clearly playing well, and Mac Jones was clearly on a hot streak. 1st and 10. Nelson Aguilar drops a slant over the middle of the field that would have gained 30 to 40 yards, maybe even a touchdown if he beats one safety. He dropped the ball. That wasn't Mac Jones' fault. He dropped the ball. The Cowboys also didn't stop you on that play. 2nd and 10. Mac Jones passed for 14 yards over the middle of the field to Jacoby Myers. Okay, good play, good throw. Then you go 2 consecutive runs, which is an entirely other issue that we don't want to discuss. 3rd and 3, Mac Jones drops back, throws to the right, and it's a missed PI call, a missed face mask on Nelson Aguilar that would have been the first down if the ref makes the correct call. It was clearly a face mask. There you have it. You decide to punt. So when you talk about this drive, the Cowboys weren't stopping you at all. They stopped you by face mask. They stopped you by you dropping the ball. Not their execution. Your defense at this point in the game is gassed. Dallas has drove down the field into scoring territory on their last 4 consecutive drives. You can't give Dak Prescott the ball in this situation. They only need a field goal. Your quarterback is completing over 70% of his passes, and you still don't decide to go for it. I would understand if you were playing a bad offense. If you were playing the Jets, the Dolphins, sure, I kind of get it. Maybe it's an ego thing for believing your defense can stop them. Maybe. What excuses are there not to go for it in this situation, in overtime, 4th and 3 at your own 46? The numbers say it doesn't make sense. The context suggests it doesn't make sense. But what is actually leading to that lack of aggressiveness? And to me, the only logical answer is that the Patriots don't know who they are as a team. More importantly, the coaching staff doesn't know who they are. The New England coaching staff has been slow to figure it out. The it being the identity of this team. This is a coaching staff and a head coach who doesn't know his team's strengths from its weaknesses. This defense is not the identity, Bill. The recurring theme this season for New England. At the end of the game, the perceived strength and the identity, the defense, couldn't get the stop they needed. And that defense, that is supposed to be the identity of the team, couldn't get a stop versus Jameis Winston? Taysom Hill? Are you kidding me? The Patriots couldn't get a final stop versus the Miami Dolphins and Tua, a team that lost to the Jags. The Jags! Why does Bill believe it will happen in overtime versus Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys offense? That is absolutely puzzling to me. One of the problems with winning for so long is you get accustomed to it. Bill has become accustomed to winning in the way that he calls the game, in the way that he believes his team should play on Sundays. The Patriots treated this game as if they were better, as if they were more talented. Here's the problem with that. They are not.
It's a good football team. Give Dallas credit. They're a good team. They're well coached. And I know we just came up a little bit short. You know, went toe-to-toe with them for 60 minutes, and we just couldn't. They just made a few more plays than we did, so let's give them credit for that.
Punching above their weight is what the Patriots are doing. You must treat the elite teams in the NFL as if you are playing yourself from 10 years ago. Do not make decisions that your opponent used to be made fun of for doing. Don't be that team, Bill. When you are not the more talented team, your team needs the edge. Edges in football can be had by converting fourth downs, extending drives, running trick plays. Something. This again is not understanding who and what you are as a team. You are David. You are not Goliath. Moving forward, how do the Patriots fix this? How do they redeem themselves? First things first, find out what you do well and lean into it. In my opinion, that begins with Mac Jones. It's time to accept that he is one of your most consistent players, and you will not win unless you live and die by his right arm in crucial situations. Mac Jones is not an ordinary rookie quarterback. You have to trust him. He is the first rookie with 5 games of 70% completion percentage, and he's only played 6 games. Mac Jones has by far been the best rookie quarterback this year. Mac Jones, 92.2 PFF grade, was the second highest grade in the NFL on Sunday versus Dallas, and you still didn't trust him. He was also PFF's Rookie of the Week. Just use your eyes. My eyes say when Mac Jones throws, the Patriots move the ball. So message to you, Josh McDaniels, because I'm giving you blame as well. Stop coaching like you're bowling with bumpers on and get after it. Bill is trying to win with Mac Jones the way that he won with Brady in 01. The problem is the NFL has changed. It's evolved. You cannot consistently rely on defense to win in today's NFL. You need to trust your offense in high leverage situations. So far, Bill Belichick has not done that. To fix his team and to start winning close games, Bill must trust Mac Jones. Bill, you broke me, but it's not too late to fix me.
You're soft! You got your guys! You're a stooge! I got nothing! Hey! Where you going? I'm talking to you! Hey! Where you going? I'm coming for you! I'm coming for you!